and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And I'll let everyone know that we were in an executive session to discuss personnel matters, so we didn't do any unofficial business, basically. So, other than that, we'll start out with public comment again. This is, we recognize any resident or taxpayer of the Sayre Area School District wishing to address the board about title programming or any other matter of concern or interest properly raised in a public session. So if you give your name and address and the subject of the content you'll be addressing, and it's requested to keep your comments to 3 minutes. We'll start to keep that in mind. And moreover, please note that comments relative to private student or employee matters should be directed to the superintendent outside of the meeting. So on that note, anyone that would like to address the board at this time? Okay, a quick sip and, okay.
There's just some confusion because she's not on the agenda for it, I just wanted to speak for,
She's a resident and a student.
Absolutely.
okay, yep.
Yeah.
Step right up.
Come on.
It's okay.
Just tell us who you are and.
She was a part of the special presentation.
I did too.
That's
why I
our
said-
fault too.
Okay.
We all thought she was part of the special presentation.
Sorry.
Go, Caleb, go.
You're not special, but-
Your name, Liam's the special.
Yes.
She's not nervous at all.
Nah.
I've never seen that. I'm nervous.
Good evening.
Good
My name is Kayla Knutz, and I'm here to represent Student Council. I'm a seventh grader here at Sayre. You're okay.
You're
Perfect.
fine.
Did I mess up?
Kayla, you're gonna do fine.
You did that on purpose, by the way.
She just wanted to practice.
I didn't. Get your voice ready, okay?
All right.
Deep breath.
Okay. Good evening. My name is Kayla Knutz, and I'm here to represent Student Council. I'm a seventh grader here at Sayre, and I'm a first-year Student Council member. In the spirit of good fun, the Student Council would like to create a fun challenge. We are challenging the board to do a can battle with administration. We would like to see which group can collect the most points, or cans, by the morning of October 25th. The winner will be highlighted in our social media post and will earn bragging rights for the year. May the best team win. I also have Rusty Rail shirt orders if you'd like one. Proceeds will go directly towards our community and our campus. I know it's supposed to be
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
It's for the food drive. So if you bring in like a 24-pack of ramen noodles, does it count as 24 or does it count as 1?
Tell her it's on the rule sheet. Counts as 24.
Okay.
Oh, it's on the roll sheet.
Perfect.
You did good, Kaylee.
Me too. No, we're good.
Mr. Hanlock and Mr. Serpent, I'll send them theirs.
There
Oh,
is
Mr.
part-
Claypool, we'll get him too. Yeah. He's on the admin side.
I have a question.
I might lose these two and remember this.
For every 12 cans that I donate, are you willing to do 1 W?
No, maybe 30, but not
Okay.
12.
Okay.
So, Jill, do you count as administration or part of the board?
She's admin.
Okay.
Well, I'm part of the team of 10 up here too, so I was gonna lean over to Mr.
She
Cole
can
and let him
vote.
decide.
We split it 2 ways.
Rock, paper, scissors?
The admin team seems lower on numbers.
Yeah,
I
we're
don't care
lower.
how you split it, as long as you decide on your teams. We just thought it would be fun, a spirit of competition.
I'm gonna let Mr. Cole
If
decide.
I
anybody,
was going to say,
if
seeing that
anybody
she's part of
gets
the team of 10,
100
if she brings in,
cans,
say,
then
30 items, we get 15, the administrators get 15. How about that? Is that fair enough?
But the look on her face, I'm thinking, no.
I'm confused by that.
You can't lose.
Well, I really guess if you have a winning team, either way you look at it.
Well, it's not really good.
I think we should let the student council members throw water balloons at the losing team.
Or,
No.
or Mrs. Romberger, the other thing that we could do is leave it up to the student council and let them decide, with Dr. Delosio, if she does bring in items, how they would want us to do it, you know.
And we could just ask her, what team would you like to be on? Yes. No pressure there.
Or just split them in half. Give half along to the.
It's all for good causes.
It's all for.
It's all for a good cause.
Regardless of what it is.
So if she goes
But
either way, maybe you
here's-
get a dunk tank and she goes in on both sides.
So we
Now,
could.
Mr. Ruth, now hold on 1 second. Hold on.
Are you gonna be in that?
No, I'm not.
So it seems as though there's less admin, like, cause when we counted, it would be like Mrs. Morel.
Well, and you know what, honestly, Mr. Claypool's not here, but he loves a good competition, so I'll go with that.
He does, he already gave me an inside scoop of his tactics.
Okay.
Just a little fun.
Did you get that all
Hey,
on the
absolutely,
YouTube?
all good fun,
Yep,
but
it's
it's
all
all
up there.
going for something great for our district.
That's right.
Anyone else that would like to, public comment here? Could be fun for you.
Kaylee, that was a great idea for the student council.
Yeah. Caleb,
Great
good
idea.
idea. Thank you.
Maybe we should do it with the seniors between the elementary and secondary. I'm gonna start thinking about some things right now. Okay, I got a few minutes.
If you did it between the elementary and the secondary,
Okay,
we could like break it up into more groups.
there you go.
All right, seeing no one else has a public comment, we'll go to our special presentation from the junior, senior high school. Mr. Berry.
Good evening. The class of 2025 kicked off homecoming week on Saturday, October 5th, with a fantastic homecoming dance, transforming the cafeteria into a sea of red and blue. This year, we also revived a beloved tradition, pole decorating. Each grade level is competing with the theme Game On, and we invite the school board members to walk through the halls to reminisce about their favorite board games. The winner will be announced at Friday's pep rally. Spirit Week is in full swing with yesterday's theme was Soccer Mom versus Baseball Dad, and today was Twintastic / Iconic Duo. Tomorrow's is Wild West versus West Coast. Thursdays is Throwback to Your Favorite Decade, and Fridays are Sarah Pride Day. The student with the most school spirit at the pep rally will win a prize. Tomorrow on Wednesday, seniors will also decorate the Lockhart Street Bowl in preparation for the big game, with special visitors joining us. Our kindergartners will participate in a sentimental activity with the graduating class. Friday's pep rally, planned by our cheerleaders, will be action-packed, culminating in the announcement of our homecoming king. Saturday, October 12th is filled with Sarah Pride, starting with a carnival from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., featuring foods from local groups, food trucks like Johnny B's, Angry Burrito, and Burns Gourmet Dogs, and a dog tank where attendees can dunk some of Sarah's finest. Later at 4:15 p.m., we'll have our homecoming parade, leading up to the big game at 7 p.m., which is also senior night. Come early at 6:30 p.m. to celebrate our seniors in fall sports, cheerleading, and band. Finally, the crowning of our homecoming queen will take place during halftime of the game. We hope the school board members can join us in celebrating this exciting and memorable week. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Berry. By the way, the chicken and biscuit supper last Saturday night was great. Thank you. I'll let you folks know that. For the class, I better mention it was for the class of 25, so. Thank you. Moving down to our consent agenda. Number 2 is the minutes, recommending that we approve the minutes from our last meeting. Moving over to number 3 for instruction, the conference requests. Down to letter B for field trip requests. And letter C for district volunteers. Also, letter D, the 24-25 school calendar amendment. Motion to approve the October 14th, 2024 from a professional learning day to an Act 80 day, and December 2nd, 2024 from an Act 80 to a professional learning day. Letter E, a new award scholarship on behalf of Mrs. Kay Busick. Consent on athletics for athletic personnel. Number 5, under personnel, to approve the district personnel as requested. Letter B, for the Title IX coordinator, to approve Dayton Handrick, Mr. Dayton Handrick, as district's Title IX coordinator starting 24-25. Also on the consent agenda, item number 6 is the policy motion to get into the first readings. There's a number of first readings from 317 down to about 805. And also a host of final readings for our policies. Item number 7, PSBA officers, and letter A, motion to approve the PSBA president-elect vote. Letter B, PSBA vice president vote. And letter C, the insurance trustee vote. There's 3 persons on that to be voted in. So do we have a motion and a second on the consent vote?
Motion.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Questions or comments?
Dr. Delosio, can you explain what the Title IX coordinator role is, please?
Sure, so there are multiple rules under the Title IX law that's required. When the new law came forward this year, they stated in the regs that the superintendent and or the CEO of the school district is not permitted to be the Title IX coordinator. I was the named Title IX coordinator, so that's the need for a change in that, just to lay that out there first. The second component is that many of our administrators have been trained in Title IX, so if we have a report, there's investigators and decision makers, and then that report goes to the Title IX coordinator for final decision and approval before it would potentially go for an appeal process. You're welcome.
And Dr. Delosio, could you also mention about the school calendar amendment? It looks,
Sure.
It's pretty basic.
Sure. So there's no change in the days and what they were. So originally, the October 14th date was on our calendar as a professional development day only, and the one in December was marked as an Act 80 day. That's the Monday after Thanksgiving. Our paraprofessional support staff have always worked on Act 80 days, and typically the Monday after Thanksgiving is not normally a student day or a work day. It is an online training day for our professional staff members. So we moved the Act 80 day to October 14th so that they could keep that Monday still as a typical day off.
Thank you.
Certainly.
Any other questions or comments? In that case, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? All right, the consent agenda, okay. Item number 8, motion to pay the bills.
Motion.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Questions or comments on bills? All right, we'll need a roll call on this, Mrs. Pacheco.
We'll begin with Mrs. Agnew.
Yes, except I abstain on number 1, please.
Mrs. Blythe?
Yes.
Mr. Hickey?
Yes.
Mrs. Metz?
Yes.
Mr. Petrini?
Yes.
Mr. Root?
Yes.
Mr. Cole?
Yes. Next up, high school principals report. Mrs. Ely.
Good evening, everyone.
Things are very busy here at the high school. As Liam reported earlier, we had our homecoming dance this past Saturday. It was very well attended. The kids had a fabulous time. Thank you to Mrs. Ramsey and the senior class for doing an outstanding job with the decorating. Big thank you has to go out to Mr. Palumbo for volunteering his time and coming to DJ that night. Also thank you to Mrs. Short, Mr. Craig, and Officer Spencer for chaperoning the dance. We are now, like Liam said, in the midst of Spirit Week. We've got our dress-up themes each day. The halls are looking really great. And a group of our student athletes and band members are heading over to Snyder on Friday morning for a PBIS pep rally. We will end the school week this Friday afternoon with a fall pep rally in our gym as well. We held our evacuation drill last Friday here at the high school. It went well. I want to thank everyone for helping to ensure things went smoothly that day. These drills are necessary, even though they're time-consuming for us as a group to practice the steps, as well as us for us to see the areas that need to be refined in that process. Congratulations to senior Isabella Russo, who competed at the Bradford Sullivan County Outstanding Young Women competition a few weekends ago. Bella was the first runner-up, and she won in the presence and presentation category, so great job to her. I held a drawing for perfect attendance for the month of September at the high school and gave out a prize to each of our 2 winners, who were Abby Snyder and Yelena Dune. So congrats to those students on making school a priority. We have a guest speaker, Brad Herdig from Relevant Speakers, coming to speak with our students this Thursday here at the high school. We're excited for that. And then that group, along with hip-hop artist Kevin Morse, will also hold a free concert that evening here in the auditorium at 7 p.m., and that is open to the public. We continue to partner this year with Stonehouse Retirement Planners in downtown Sayre for our Artist of the Month award. So the October artist has been chosen by Ms. Koopman and is Lorelei Golden. So congrats to Lorelei. Next Monday, as they just said, the 14th is a professional learning day for teachers, so students have the day off. And next Thursday, the 17th, we will hold PSAT testing here at the high school for students, and then the next day on Friday the 18th, we'll hold ASVAB testing. So thank you to our school counselor, Mrs. Schreiber, for scheduling and overseeing both of those testings. And that's all I have.
Mrs. Ely, I have a question for you. When was that hip-hop concert and that activity?
This Thursday evening.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you. Assistant Principal, Mr. Howie.
Good evening. In front of you, I placed, before you got here, before I unlocked the door, the current numbers for sports registration here at Sayre High School. I color-coded them so you could pick out the seasons easier. The cheerleading competitive varsity and junior high is in white because it's fall and winter. Just made it easier for me. Anyhow, we're starting to split them out according to their junior high JVs, and now that we have the coaches approved, thank you for that. We'll be able to send those reports to Family ID, and the coaches will know exactly who's on their team. Junior high is 7th and 8th. Anybody JV and varsity is from 9th through 12th. Our numbers are actually gone up. When I reported in August, there was 142, and we're now up to 156 unique people. I went through the overall roster. There's 21 duplicate entries because they registered in the first system and then we had to reset because of some goofs. So it actually reads 177 in the system, but there's 156 unique people. I broke that out across the grade levels. It means we've got 39 7th graders, 22 8th graders, 42 9th graders, 25 10th graders, 21 11th graders, and 27 seniors that are currently signed up to do at least a sport in our school this year. Works out to just shy of 40% of our student body. That's pretty good. I'm never satisfied. I'd like to see 100%, but you know, I'm encouraged that our numbers are growing and we can keep moving forward with that. that's basically the sports. I mean, there's a lot of little numbers there. Is there anything that sticks out to you that you might want to? You know, you always have the rumor mill, well, you're going to get 6 or 7 of the linemen to come to the wrestling team, and you know, we always hope for that, but until they actually show up or put their name and family ID, we can't count on that. I know that the coaching staff has encouraged it because I've heard it personally. Even the basketball coach has said, listen, you're 6 foot tall, but you need to go wrestle. All right? While I'm up here, just the other side of my job is the discipline. On day 31, we currently have had 118 discipline referrals. So that's 3, maybe 4 a day, which is well under the 10 a day average that I started with 5 years ago. It's early in the year, maybe the honeymoon's still here, but I think we're becoming a happier place. I think the kids want to be here, and when you get out and see these hallways and how they're decorated, you'll see there's a lot of kids who like this place. So thank you for that. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Howie.
Thank you, Mr. Howard. I'll get it over there.
I love hearing the good stuff.
All right, Mrs. Morrell, tell us what's happening on the slide.
Good evening, everyone. I just came from a very busy PTG meeting. Some of the activities that they have planned are helping with Spectacular, which is here at the high school on October 29th. The 5th and 6th grade. Are we doing 4th grade? 4th grade. We're doing 4th, 5th, and 6th grade Halloween dance at Snyder for our students on October 25th. Candy Cane Lane is the week of December 9th through the 12th. And Kids Night Out, we're hoping to have something here at the high school for December 13th. I know those dates are a long ways out, but there's very few people who are on PTG. They're always looking for more helping hands, so if you're interested in helping them out, please call the main office. We can get you in contact with PTG. They're a great group of people who are very hardworking and make a lot happen for our kids. So if you're interested in joining that group, we'd love to have you. We meet once a week for about 45 minutes and get a lot done. So if you have time, please think about joining that team. Also, I'd like to thank Mrs. Kate Husick for her service to the Sayre Area School District. I had the honor and pleasure of working with her for many years. She always put kids first and loved the Sayre School District, so we send our thoughts to her family. We're very excited, as Mrs. Ely said, that the PBIS assembly is this Friday. We're going to be joined by the high school kids as part of homecoming, so we're looking forward to that. I talked with Mrs. Romberger in regard to our food drive, and we're down a little bit from where we were last year, so as a Sayre alumni, that saddens me. So I called a Penn State fan, as much as it broke my heart to do so, who is not here this evening. We have a little contest going on. It was just developed before all this went on, so if we need to judge it, I'm sure, or judge it a little bit, Mr. Skirpon and I probably would be willing to make some accolades. If the students at Snyder get more than 10,000 cans, I will wear a Penn State shirt, as much as it loathes me to say that. If 10,000 cans do not come in, he has to wear a Michigan shirt.
I now know where my donations are going,
And that's what I figured. That's
as
why-
a Penn State grad.
And that's what I figured, is the Valley of the Penn State people, I'm sure they will all rally together to see Mrs. Morrell in a Penn State shirt. So that's our plan to try and help with the canned food drive. I'd like to thank Mrs. April Moore. She spearheaded the campaign to get our flower boxes, just looking fantastic for fall. And thank you to Robinson's Contracting and Landscaping for donating and delivering all that mulch. So thank you for that work on that project. It really looks great. It was National Custodian Day, so thank you to our custodians and hardworking maintenance staff for the dedication to our district. We had our first RISE VIP of the year. It was Alex Politsky. He was honored at the Sayre football game this past Friday. He was our first RISE VIP winner. In RISE, students earn tickets for showing exceptional behavior. He was excited to sit with the team because he is also a football player. Our next winner will be drawn next week during the varsity JV volleyball game, and one for our homecoming football game. Reagan McCutcheon has done a great job coming to kindergarten for her work-life experience. We're lucky enough to have her for the last 2 years. Best of luck for her. She's going to college next year for teaching, so she's got a great set of extra hands down there. For Mr. Short in our tech department, I think he was a little gray after last week. He came to the rescue. Kindergarten got on their tablets and have been logging in with all their apps that he's helped us put on there, so we thank him for his extra efforts. And I think that's everything. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Morale.
Mr. Claypool, you missed it. Mr. Skirpon and I have a little competition going for the Rusty Rail.
Repeat that competition so Mr. Claypool knows what it is.
I, as a Michigan fan, am willing to wear a Penn State shirt if the Snyder kids bring in more than 10,000 cans. If they don't, Mr. Skirpon has to wear Michigan card.
So I have to make sure all my cans make it over to Snyder.
Guess who else just said that as well? See what I'm willing to do to get
Mr. Claypool, I said the same thing.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs.
You're
Morale.
welcome.
I know I'm not on, can I do a quick?
Why, are you going to say you're gonna bring your cans to Snyder too?
Go ahead,
I was already thinking that I didn't care if the admin team lost or not, to see her at Penn State. I just wanted to give an update. Mr. Katrina asked a question last time we were together. Happy to announce that today we finalized everything with Keystone and added 2 more biology classes. So I really appreciate Mrs. Pettit's willingness to juggle her curriculum a little bit. So we added 8 new dual enrollment credits. So we are up to 11 classes through Corning for 39 credits. And we now have 6 through Keystone for 21 credits. So we're up to 60 credits. I know it's not an official associate's degree. That's something we've kind of talked about, but that's a heck of a lot of credits if you were to take every single class to leave here with. So
That's awesome.
just wanted to give you guys an update. I've been kind of beating on Keystone a little bit for that. So thank you.
Appreciate that, thank you.
Yep.
You can interrupt me anytime you like.
And that paperwork will be in kids' hands on Thursday. We really want to make sure all the details. There's some feedback that last year's was a little confusing because of, so we tweaked all that, and that will go home Thursday.
Mr. Henry, could you give us a little more information when kids go to sign up? When is the paperwork due approximately, funding? Because I know the
Yep.
Corning courses are at no cost. Keystone, there's $100 per credit.
Yep.
Parents that need to plan forward. Can you give us a little more?
So the bills all come directly from the colleges. No money comes to us. We don't touch that. All we do is collect students' information and what classes they're in. Keystone courses, my apologies, I made that confusing already. Corning, I was dealing with Keystone the last 2 days, so Corning has already reached out, and that has been, those families probably already have the bills, and it will be due generally by the end of December for the spring semester, fall semester, and then again in about April for the spring semester. Sorry. Keystones will be due back to us in the school counselor's office by the 25th, and then we have of October, and then we're going to get that to Keystone by the 15th of November. So I just like a little bit of leeway in there just in case, and then those bills will go out from the respective colleges.
Directly to the parents' home.
Directly to the parents' home, yep. So no money is collected by Sarah. Please don't send us any checks. You will get a bill. Same thing with transcripts. They all come from the colleges to get the official transcripts. Our transcript will say that you took a dual enrollment, but it doesn't. We can't give the college credit. Our transcript isn't recognized by other colleges. So, yes, and to make it a little, we try to, the communication that will go out this week is only Keystone courses. So if you're already in a Corning course, you're not going to get anything. Doesn't mean you're not in it. You should have already got it. Does that help?
That is helpful, thank you.
Anybody else?
Thank you, Mr. Hamrick.
You're welcome.
PSBA steps, let me tell you. But over the next few months, we'll be sharing some thoughts with board members on possible ways how we can operate things and run them before our members of the board here. So we'll share some things that we learned down there at the conference, basically. Charter reform has taken some positive steps after I attended a meeting with the advisors, and it comes in the way of special education. So in 2025, it's going to begin moving on what was agreed upon in the current state, our state budget. And then in August of 2025, according to what I learned, is that there will be additional reporting that will be required from the charters to do as far as how their money is being spent and what's going on there. So, like I said, details in 2025 on that. Also, the big push is going on with the solar power grants. We've heard a lot about that down at the conference. And also, be prepared, K through 3, there's a reading buildup that is coming up. So we look forward on seeing what that's going to entail. So that's everything I got from PSBA. Mrs. Agnew, anything from the IU?
Just some handouts for the September meeting is all. If you have any questions, you can ask, otherwise that's all.
All right, committee reports is up next. Any one of our chairs that want to give a report this evening?
You know me, Mr. Always going to talk.
Mrs. Bly.
So Mr. Claypool and I spoke earlier, and he just wanted to mention that he took 9 students to a student athlete leadership conference. My understanding is that it went very, very well. So thank you, Mr. Claypool, for always taking time out of your schedule to ensure that the students are getting all of the extras. The pep rally, PBIS at Snyder on Friday, Mrs. Morrell mentioned that all of the fall athletes were invited to attend. As a Snyder mom, I love seeing those big kids in that school. It's so cool. And the kids love it too. So thank you to all of them who take time out of their day to go over and make those kids happy. Spectacular as well. Typically the fall athletes or all athletes are welcome to attend that, hand out candy, be in their uniforms. They look like superheroes to those small kids, so that's really neat too. Thank you to Mr. Howie for this sports registration report. Extremely thankful for everything you do as always. But it is amazing to me to see the growth in athletics in this district. And it'll be interesting when I compare this piece of paper to next year to see how much we've grown even then. So we're growing, we're moving, and I just appreciate all the work that you do. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Blythe. Any other committee reports? All righty, I just want to let everyone know in the Sarah School District, it's, like I said, it's beginning to be a fun week here in our district with homecoming. And of course, Saturday will be loaded with fun. Carnival, parade, football game, and a pre-game tailgate. That's always a lot of fun. On behalf of the entire board, congratulations to those named in the homecoming court as well. And we'll see who's the winner on Saturday night. That'll be, like I said, it's always a fun time to celebrate with our youngsters and with our community during the homecoming. Also, the Rusty Rail Food Drive is on. Now we've got the challenge board, so we've got to see what we can do as far as, it'll be a challenge for us to beat these administrators, so. Here we go. Also, check out the website, folks. I keep saying, please go out there and look at that because it's just loaded with things from the class of 25, see what they're doing, the National Honor Society, they're doing a child's book drive right through till, I think it's October 25th, if I'm not mistaken, Mrs. Healy, right?
Sounds right.
Yeah, and a whole lot of other things that are going on. Snyder, there's loads of pictures from the Snyder School, from the high school on the achievements of our kids. So please get out there and look at the website because, again, and then good news for Mr. Handrick. We appreciate his report this evening. And again, first place from, or first runner-up from Isabel Russo and Young Women's Competition as well. Lastly, again, on behalf of the board up here, the sympathies and thoughts are also with the Husick family as we lost a school board warrior and redskin, may I say, Kate Husick. She was a board president at one time, was a PSBA advocate and quite the mentor. Personally, I'll tell you, she really encouraged me to go after goals, especially in PSBA. And she was on target with a lot of her thoughts and concerns. And the philosophy really that I took from Kay personally was when we would vote on something, I remember a couple of times we get some very sensitive votes to go through. And I would go up to Kay and I'd say, Kay, you know, this is going to be a very difficult vote for us to do. And she says, always remember, Ron, what will the impact be for students? Is this something our taxpayers can adapt with? And then whatever the results of the vote are, we need to back the team of 10. No matter whether we were for it or whether we were against it, whatever the call was on that vote, again, we need to support that. So, again, our sympathies and our respects to the Husick family at this time. Dr. Delosio.
So you ended with Mrs. Husick, and I'm going to start there. So I never had the privilege or honor to work on a team of 10 with Mrs. Husick, but what I will say is what I've learned over this 5+ years that I've been here is that a legacy lasts for a long time. The work that she did is still here today. So my thoughts and prayers are with the family, and they need to know that, you know, the work that Mrs. Husick did is still here in these buildings, in this district, and will last a very long time. So I think it was close to 4 decades that she served this school district on this school board. And so what an honor and a legacy for a long time. The other things that I wanted to share was, yes, Mr. Cole and I, Sunday, headed out midday at some point there and connected Sunday early evening, and we had a lot of sessions to attend. I will highlight the 3 for myself as a team of 10 presentation that we attended. A school safety preparedness from the Penn SSI, and so our team was able to go a couple summers ago, and we're going to try to go again next summer with a larger team and more staff members. And then this morning at 8 a.m. Started with policy. So that was bright and early for a presentation. And one of the highlights I would have to say was the keynote speaker on Monday morning, Dr. John Hodge. Did a fantastic job engaging the members of everyone that was there. So in addition, I had parent advisory on September 18th, lots of topics. We had about 6 parents at the table, had a nice conversation for over an hour. I want to again thank Choice Radio, Choice 102, for hosting our students and staff members on Thursday mornings. Tune in at 7:45. There's usually students on the radio from Sayre on Thursday mornings, and sometimes it is staff members. We've had an induction meeting in September. I met with the teachers for about an hour as Mr. Handrick was busy with SSIP that day. And so I went over all the observation processes with our new educators and gave them some tips and tricks, and also asked them to meet with their mentors to go over some other components about the observation process. Between our last meeting and this meeting, my heart was filled when I was standing in the bowl during Cavalcade. I couldn't wait to be the school district to host it. It was a misty evening, a little bit of rain here and there, but when those bands came together, of all 8, and marched across our field to that drum beat, it just is an awesome feeling, and they did an outstanding job. I want to say thanks to Mr. Wybert for lifting up the drone and taking some pictures for us. So that was nice to have him as a parent of ours here at Sayre and supporting us as well. And a shout out to Carrie Ackerman. So second year teacher overseeing cavalcade of bands with 8 districts, and she did a phenomenal job. I agree with you, Mrs. Rich. That's what I love. And I'll give a shout out to Mr. Claypole. So realistically, when you're trying to evacuate a building with students and staff and coordinate buses and police department, EMS, I was thoroughly impressed on Friday. First time, evacuate the building, we go to our relocation sites. Buses came in, students were loaded, and we were over to our reunification site. Teachers did a fantastic job. Head counts were done probably 300 times in a 45-minute period. We worked with our app system. I know we have some work to do on the new upgrade to that app system. But Mr. Claypool, I know you have a lot of hats that you wear inside of our district. And so I know that you coordinated with a lot of individuals to make that happen for our student body. And I think we left here in the morning. We were tentatively thinking it might be close to 11 or 11:30. But because everybody did what they needed to do, I think we were back by 10:30. And so we actually were shorted by an hour than what we thought it would be. So kudos to everybody, but especially Mr. Claypool on that. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Delosio. Our next school board directors meeting will be on, seeing I don't have my calendar in front of me, October the 21st, Monday night, here in the high school auditorium. Before we adjourn, is there any other business to bring before the board, or if anyone wants to add in another comment?
Can I just do a shout out? Mrs. Grunza made these wonderful little coupons. So every student that brings in 20 cans will get a free item from the cafe.
Okay, I need to say that on this so that they can hear out there and with anyone who's watching. Students who bring in 20 items, their teachers, their homeroom teachers will have coupons, which will give them a free item in the cafe, the Connections Cafe in the lower level of the high school. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, is there a deadline for that?
The 25th.
The 25th of any time between now and October 25th.
Correct.
Got it. Mrs. Romberger.
And the elementary is doing partnering that as well. It's going to go out the next couple days to staff any student that brings in 20 items, picks an ice cream treat or something as they go through the cafeteria line.
Okay, so 20 items at the elementary school gets you a treat from the cafeteria, like an ice cream treat or something like that.
And then we have the grade level competitions that whoever wins, there's things on top of that.
Do we even have the boxes to collect all of this stuff? Okay, they're gonna be overflowing with these competitions that we have. Oh, they won't be.
I can't wait for the results. That's a good
So Sarah has historically had the title for a very long time, and I read her Facebook message, which definitely sparked us to get moving with some other avenues. That Athens is doing some venues with like Bradley Creamery, Bradley Farm, so proceeds for community events. And I thought, gee, yes, but we need to do something better. So we're trying to pull out all the stock. I don't know if it'll work, but here we go.
All righty, everyone, if there's no other questions or comments or anything to add, let's move to adjourn. Motion second. Thank you, everyone.